threat, shoot, dribble, pass, man, we cover ball like we in the net. Triple threat, Trey, Art, and Chep, you can catch your songs on the internet. Triple threat, we don't feel the press, we just give them stats, opinion facts, you can give them next. We got now, we shut it down, this triple threat.
When it's show time, it's go time, my time is your time, and I appreciate you for it. Welcome to another episode of Triple Threat. I'm your host, Chep Woods. I got my bro, Will DeVille, and Artty Bucco with me. Let's hop right in. So the first round of the playoffs are over, and the semifinals are set. Jimmy Butler was going wild. We got to get a real good taste of Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy for the first round. Against the Bucks, he averaged 37.6, 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Y'all think he's gonna be able to keep this up against the Knicks?
Y'all, yes, he gonna be able to keep this up against the Knicks. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The worst is yet to come for my man, which is probably the Celtics, because in all honesty, we figured it was gonna be the Milwaukee Bucks, but it's not. Every game that Giannis played, except the game that he got injured and, came out in the first quarter, every game that Giannis played, he has killed. All right, we're just gonna say that, especially the last game, where they was pretty much avoiding elimination. Giannis came out with a double-double. The man had 30-plus points, 20-plus rebounds. It don't get no better than that, from a Giannis performance. And I don't know about y'all, but the Heat, okay, Jimmy looked entirely too good this series. 40-point games. I mean, what more can you ask for, man? He gonna keep this up. The Knicks ain't as much of his competition as we talking about the guys who was just the number 1 seed. The biggest upset, man, the biggest upset of the playoffs is this right here. I don't think nobody was expecting this. I don't think you was expecting this. I know you wasn't expecting this. So, you know what I'm saying? At this point, Jimmy buckets. You're a killer. I can't say nothing about you. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you, Jimmy. Keep doing your thing. Heat and 4. What you think,
4.
Will?
Heat and 4.
4.
Wow.
Heat and 4, baby.
That is disrespectful. I feel like the player that we need to be keeping our eyes on is going to be R.J. Barrett for the Knicks. We need the R.J. Barrett from, Duke he went to?
Okay.
We need that R.J. Barrett to show up.
He was a dog.
We need that R.J. Barrett to show up in the Garden if the Knicks are going to have a chance, because they got home court, but if they don't hold down that home court, it ain't really much that they could do, because they ain't winning in Miami. We know that for a fact. Jimmy goes crazy in Miami more than anything else. So we know that he's going to show up in Miami for sure, but at the Garden, he damn near have a performance as well. Dang near have a performance as well. And if he does, we know Brunson is going to give us something, but we need the others on the New York Knicks to actually show up if this is going to be a series. Or, like you said, it's going to be Heat and 4.
Especially with Julius Randle rolling his ankle.
Mm-hmm.
The others really got to step up. And I'm definitely a Knicks fan. I had the Knicks over the Cavs, right? But and I'm not too playoff Jimmy something special, but I'm not really a Jimmy Butler fan myself. So I definitely want to see the Knicks advance, but I don't think it's looking too good for him, because Jimmy Butler in the first game against the Knicks, he had 25, 11, and 4. Mm-hmm. They got the W, so now they got home court advantage. I feel like they at least gonna hold on to that. I don't know if they're going 7. Y'all think they're gonna go 7, or is they gonna get them? Well, you said they're going 4. You think it's going 7, or you think it's gonna be a clean sweep?
I feel like the Knicks are good for a 7-game series. If you look back at their playoff history, they usually go 7 games, and they have a rivalry. They've had a rivalry with the Heat since way back when, we talking late 90s. So I feel like the Heat are gonna come out and play, but I feel like the Knicks are gonna at least claw. And I feel like it's something about that New York grit that they not going down without a fight. And they got some dogs too, so we got to see them show up.
And I know y'all saw Giannis's press conference about failure and success. Mm-hmm. Everybody been talking about it, so I got to know y'all guys' take. do you feel like the Bucks losing to the AFC in round 1 was a failure? If so, was it a failure for Giannis, for the Bucks, or was it not a failure? Do you agree with Giannis or disagree with Giannis?
I 100% agree with Giannis.
Okay.
I 100% agree with everything he said. The way he even broke it down and explained it to him, gave you a prime example of, Michael Jordan, which as he should. And Giannis, you smart, hell of a basketball player, and in all honesty, you arguably one of the best basketball players in the league right now. You should have said that. However, as the first seed, I honestly don't feel like y'all should have got this sweeping of the floor that you guys kind of took. I don't feel that. So in all honesty, I wouldn't say he failed. I wouldn't say the whole season was a failure because of course they made it to the playoffs. Hell of a season. Y'all playoff run was a failure, in my opinion, just because y'all the first seed going against the 8th seed and y'all only won one game. And the game that you won, you ain't even have Giannis on the floor. You understand? So I don't feel like it was a Giannis failure. It was more of a Bucks failure. And the coaching staff, I feel like they could have came up with a better game plan to deal with the Miami Heat, and they didn't. So
you saying you agree with Giannis in that there isn't any failure in sports, or they failed this playoff series?
When you're a player, and because as a player, you want to lose? When you lose, do you feel like
the objective ain't to lose, it's to win?
Thank you, sir. So when you lose, when you go home, what you feel like? You feel like you won something?
I feel like going out to play again and win next time.
What just happened though?
I feel like it's happened.
Did you win? Did you just win?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so what is the opposite of a win?
I lost.
Okay, sir.
I get what he's saying, but I don't feel like he's articulating
win
it right.
isn't failure. The opposite of failure is success. But I didn't succeed, so I feel you. But I was just trying to understand where you coming from. Do you agree with Giannis that there aren't any failure in sports?
That's bull. That's BS.
Or do you feel like they failed this playoff series, like you said?
I feel like there is no failure in sports when you're talking to children.
Right. And that's,
for sure. And as a role model, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He said what he was supposed to say, and I commend him for the way he projected that. However, Giannis, number 1 seed, you lost in the playoffs. What? It's
to the AFC.
It's a L.
What you agree or disagree with Bucco?
I feel like there's so the thing about failure, especially like with sports teams, it's like if you're working your way up, like the Sacramento Kings, their season wasn't a failure because they made progress. And it takes failure and success in order to succeed. So if it's coming from that perspective, then I agree with them. But once you make yourself a championship caliber team, then it's championship or bust. And I mean, their team is kind of built around Giannis, so it's like, I get it, he was out for a couple games and everything like that. But when you got a team that's deep, or should be deep, even when your star player is out, you should have some other things that could win you a game or two.
They won a game
without Giannis. I think that we got to stop lying to these kids, man. Like, yo, the losers get little ribbons, and no, if you lost, you lost. That's part of life, right? Because you're gonna not be a kid for forever. You're gonna grow up. So, I mean, I think part of that was stemmed from Giannis being frustrated with the reporter who he felt like was being repetitive or redundant, asking him the same question over and over again. And I get that you have an opportunity to go at it again next year. I'm not saying that Giannis' career is a failure. I'm saying this season was a phenomenal season, best record in the league, and you got knocked out the first round. Like, if that's not a failure, what's failing, man?
I'm not sure what failing
What is failing if that's not failing? I'm not sure. And the whole notion that there is no failure in sports, I think you can redeem yourself. I think it's all subjective. So Giannis is entitled to his opinion, right? I don't want to undermine that. I'm just saying that it's sports is a spirit of competition. You win, you lose. You aim for a particular goal, you make it or you don't. To not make that goal, like you said, how you feel, right? So I mean, that's not to like persecute or say like, yo, like you got an F in school, you a failure, you don't amount to nothing. But this season was an L and an F. You know what I'm saying? What a postseason, let me say.
What I can piggyback off of this, man, he say the Sacramento Kings now, with them losing in the first round to a championship caliber team, after they ain't been in the playoffs.
Exactly. That was most of them
since
boys'
Doug Christie was playing. You know what I'm saying? So these guys have been in the playoffs since then. So their failure is really more of what Giannis could possibly mean. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Giannis could use them an example more than comparing himself and Michael Jordan, because like you said, it was frustration in that. You could tell he was, oh man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he used the reporter though. He said, you know, do you get a promotion every year? Are you a failure? It's like, I just think that he probably felt like dude was fishing.
Yeah.
And
he had to throw the greatest in there. He said, man, Michael Jordan played 15 seasons. He only won 6 chips. Them 9 seasons that he played, do you think that was a failure?
Do he think that was a failure? I bet
you
he
Mike do. I bet Mike think he took L's. Mike was blue, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that feeling for some drive you into a state of depression or a state of feeling like a failure. For others, it drive you and it motivate you to find that success. So I don't want to. A lot of these kids, yo, a failure is a failure, win is a win. You can always live to fight another day, but you got to fight another day because you failed, right? But man, y'all brought up the Sacramento Kings, and that was a hell of a series, man. The defending champions and the Young Bucks. Y'all surprised that Golden State went 7 with them boys, or was y'all a little worried that they was gonna take the L, or y'all felt like, you know, y'all expected the Kings to fight like that?
I feel like they were supposed to win Game 6. Everybody thought that the Warriors would win Game 6, but I feel like they came out thinking that they would win Game 6 and that them young boys was just gonna fold. And once they spanked them, then they like, oh, y'all think it's sweet. And then they came out with a different type of energy. So I'm proud of the Kings for taking them 7 games, but I never doubted that the Warriors was gone. It's something about championship caliber teams that they pull out that championship, like,
They call it pedigree.
Pedigree. That's what I'm looking for. So it's like when they pulled out that championship pedigree, you could tell in that Game 7 that all of the little mistakes, the little rookie mistakes, as we would say, the Sacramento Kings had a lot of those rookie mistakes because it was their first time actually dealing with those things. And you could tell that the Golden State Warriors was poised. I never doubted them for a second.
With the game on the line, with the series on the line, they stepped up.
Yes.
And did exactly what they were supposed to do as a championship caliber team. Sacramento Kings, with the game on the line, with the series on the line, they play hard still. That Game 7, even though they got blew out, they play hard, man. And I honestly commend them for that, because I was not expecting these boys to get past Game 5. I'm gonna be real with you. You even said, you was like, I think it's gonna be like a gentleman's sweep. And I'm like, oh, he right. That was something we all agreed on, that Golden State was gonna do what they needed to do first round. The whole season we seen Golden State sitting right there in the middle of everything. You know what I'm saying? The whole season for the most part, especially with them being terrible on the road. We seen them hit average as far as the record goes. So which landed them in that middle spot. Even with them being a championship caliber team in that middle spot against a team who ain't never been in the playoffs. You know, none of these guys have been in the playoffs on this roster. We expected them to murder.
#1 offense of the Kings, though. So I mean,
We expected the Golden State Warriors to murder the #1 offense in the Kings. We expected that. You talking about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
Yes.
You talking about Jordan Poole. You talking about Gary Payton Jr. back. You talking about you
You
some
got
killers out there.
Respect on that man's name.
You got
His name
to.
is Stephen Ezekiel Curry. 50 piece. 50 piece. He say, young boy, quit playing with me. Nobody can guard me on this floor.
I'm talking about the oldest player to score 50 in a playoff game.
Yeah. Quit playing with him. Greatest of all time.
Whoa. Greatest of all time. Whoa.
I could arguably put him as one of the greatest points of all time.
Of course.
I would probably say he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Probably.
He's definitely #1 greatest
He's
shooter of all
hands
time.
down the greatest
Did you,
shooter of all
boy?
time. So
If we talk about all time, I'm gonna just put it in there. He's one of the best finishers at the rims, at the point guard position, in the last, at least in my generation. Like he's so shifty around the rim. He finishes when you don't think he put English on it. He's off the glass with it. It's like a lot of people sleep on his finishing ability.
Him, Kyrie, and Derek. I've never seen guards finish like that.
Top 3 for sure.
Facts. Let me ask you, if Steph Curry was to get another championship, right, he'll have one more than Bron.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, do you all feel like he's in the top 10 already?
Yes.
Top 10 what? In the league of all time?
Of all time, yes.
Arguably, hell yes. Yes. I mean, yes. Yes. He transcended the game, yes.
But this is why. I feel like, say, every decade has that one standout player, maybe 2 in some decades. And it's like, if you compile in the top 10 of the last 50 years, that's 2 people from each decade. In the 80s, you got Larry and Magic. So that's 2 people right there. The 90s, I give it to Michael and who else was a killer in the 90s? I give it to like Charles Barkley or somebody. He was hot at one point.
Mike and Scotty.
Mike and Scotty. You feel me? Like you can put any 2 in that.
Oh, no, Hakeem.
Hakeem, okay.
Hakeem
Early
got
2000s.
got the only other 2 rings in the 90s, so you got to put some respect on that man.
You really do. You really do.
saying?
Quit playing with him. In the early 2000s, we'll say Kobe and who?
Man, you had quite a few guys there.
AI.
You had AI, you had Jacoby's,
But if we can only pick 2 from that decade, I'd also give it to AI.
Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq.
You can't forget Shaq though, bro.
Kobe and Shaq.
Shaq did get rings.
I'm not. And I love.
We talk about people that got rings.
And I love AI, but man, I thought we would just talk about 2 transcendent players per. Obviously, they would have had.
But
you
gotta win in order to be considered one of the greats.
AI one of the greats. AI one of the greats.
Top 10.
He wouldn't be on our set if he wasn't
I wouldn't say top 10. I wouldn't say top 10.
No,
I'm saying top 10.
no,
Top 10.
no,
To be in the top 10 list, it comes with a ring.
I don't want to start reaching.
Yeah, I wouldn't say top 10.
From the 2010 to 2020, Steph Curry, LeBron James. That's 10 people right there. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, how is he not if he's literally gotten 5 of the last?
Yeah, but you started in the 80s, bro. So
what is that? 8?
So Bill Russell and Hakeem Kareem Abdul
would be
like
the
these
2.
dudes.
Would be the other 2.
Wilt.
You got Julius Erving. He was awesome.
He ain't top 10 though.
That's what I'm saying. Julius Erving was in the 80s.
That's a good
chips?
That's a good perspective, man. That's a good perspective. And you know what? When you great, another thing you do is battle through injury. I want to give a special shout out to De'Aaron Fox. Went out there and played with a broke finger. But man, this postseason has been riddled with a few different injuries that's been pretty big and impactful, like Joel Embiid out. Man, Tyler Hero sitting out.
Mm-hmm. Victor Oladipo sitting out.
Vic sitting out.
Kawhi Leonard. Paul George.
Man, let's tap into that right quick, man. So as far as load management, was it all worth it? Right? He set out on and off throughout the season, got him acclimated coming into the playoffs. He was looking good. Playoffs hit. He looking like he about to be playoff Kawhi. Torn meniscus. Was it? How y'all feel about that? Like, should he have played? Like, if he would have played all season and got the torn meniscus anyway, is there much of a difference to you? Or
I feel like the thing with him, and it's like it's unfortunate with him, but he's like, for the Clippers, he's like the guy that's good at his job, but he calls off from work like 3 times a week. You feel what I'm saying? It's like he shows up and he does it, but he's never there when you actually need him to close. You feel what I'm saying? So that would be my analogy of that. And it's like I would relate that to playing with injuries. It's like you think about like Jordan played 82 games every year and played pretty much every game of the playoffs. But the reason why was I feel like the more you play, the more your body learn and adapt and heal. And with Kawhi Leonard, it's like you trying to rest him is only making him weaker. So he's more fragile when he do get in the game because his body ain't trained to go through those rigorous moments. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that's why it's a good thing to try to keep somebody healthy, but it's like if his body ain't gonna respond the way you need it to when you do put him in those moments, then what's the point of having him?
So lately, I've been hearing talks about how Kawhi ain't been healthy, even though he was sitting out load management, and they said the whole season, they say he pretty much had a limp the entire season. And he out, he ain't even on injury, he not on injury restriction, but he's limping. They say he limped most of the time, even during the playoffs when he was playing, he's limping. So in all actuality, I feel like Kawhi wasn't cleared when a lot of times, and they wanted to keep a hush on his actual health for real. So they probably called it load management or something because in all honesty, I feel like you getting hurt too fast now. AD was getting hurt real fast like that, but he coming back. Like he swoop, his injuries ain't even as bad, but AD always getting hurt. I feel like Kawhi wasn't getting hurt like that. Like, you know what I mean? So at this point, what can you do with when your superstar is pretty much beat up, man? He hurt. He been hurt.
let me ask you, I mean, of course with a torn meniscus or ACL or Achilles, it's only so much you can do, right? But like how De'Aaron Fox made the decision to go ahead and play, I know sometimes the team or the coaching staff or the front office or the medical staff will try to sit a player. I don't know how it really works on the inside. Like if a player can veto that decision and say, no, I'm playing. But what would you do? Like, I want to know what would you do in reference to it being earlier on in the season versus the playoffs versus the finals. Like you playing no matter what, or you might go ahead and take a little rest during the regular season. But when the playoffs come, like if you hurt yourself in the playoffs and your team make the finals and they don't have you, then do you take the rest or do you just ball out and whatever happened? Like I know we ain't sitting out during the finals. So like what's y'all mentality on that? Like, cause obviously players might need rest or players, they say they never 100%. But at some point, when is it okay to pull back in?
And say, no, I ain't playing. In the beginning of the season. If you ain't feeling froggy, don't leave in the beginning of the season. However, by the time the playoffs come and your team actually advances to the playoffs, we ain't even talking about the finals.
In the playoffs, when does the beginning of the season stop for you?
The beginning of the season stop as soon as I feel it. A few games into it. I feel like before the new year, If the season started in October, I feel like before the new year, that's the beginning of the
I'll
season.
say
games, probably 20 games in the season.
I say All-Star break at least.
That's
half
halfway
the
through
season.
the season.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you should, if you sit out before the All-Star break, it's like it don't mean a whole lot, but it's like after the All-Star break is when teams start making their playoff pushes. So every game really count a little bit more. And I mean, you might be more apt to not sit out. But any regular season game, but the closer to the playoffs you get, the more serious those games get.
Load management then that way. I feel like, all right, cool. So once we found our rhythm, that's when the beginning of the season is done for us. Mm-hmm. And at this point, now we found our pieces to our offense and what actually works for us, okay? If I'm gonna have my star player sitting out and ain't nothing wrong with him, it's not gonna be how Kawhi Leonard's situation was kind of portrayed, because that man was sitting out a lot and they always blamed it on load management. However, if he's hurt like that, and I don't want the league to know, hey man, one of the most competitive guys in the league, one of our best competitors here, once the league found out he's hurt, they're gonna count them out. You know what I'm saying? That might even give our team less confidence when they get out here on the floor. So,
and it's gonna sell less tickets.
You understand what I'm saying? So if we're pushing the fact that he's healthy and then he actually shows up on a couple days that he feels good, even though he may be cleared, he still may not feel himself, just like the Zion situation, So I don't feel like Kawhi Leonard was healthy, in all honesty.
Yeah, because PG, he said that they want to play. I think he was speaking for himself and Kawhi when he was just saying, like they want to hoop. And I'm sure in the postseason, if Kawhi did do the load management, I'm sure he wanted to hoop in the postseason. I mean, if not, what are we doing? So, but it's been some players. Kevin McHale played with a broken foot. Isaiah Thomas played with a sprained ankle. Kobe went up and shot 2 free throws with a busted Achilles. So I feel like if it's not an extreme case, if you could go out there and play, you should play. Like leading up to All-Star, because every game affect your record. Obviously, it's statement games. It's games that mean more. Then it's like clinching games toward the end of the season. But every game affects your record. And if you getting paid $90 million, shit, I don't care if you're getting paid $4 million. We hooping. I don't too much agree with. As you start getting older, just I guess, if your body can't do it, your body can't do it. But man, you young, even if you older, man, I just believe in playing as much as you can, not sitting out when you can play. If you can't play, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? These are human beings at the end of the day. So
with that being said, I'd say this then, because I tore my meniscus and I was still playing basketball, not even knowing my shit was broke. And it was a whole situation even to find out. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, all right, I'm still walking with that limp, like you said, or whatever, not really knowing what's going on. Sometimes I felt better than others. So I would say it like this. You think about the Isaiah game, the McHale game, even the Kobe game. If you got a 4-year contract with a team, right? And in your second year, y'all making a playoff run, and you get hurt. Say you got a messed up ankle or something like that. And you could play the next 3 games and maybe get you a ring, or have the chance to get you a ring, or sit out those 3 games, your team lose, and you never in the next 3 or 4 years, you get your money, but you never get a chance to get back to that point. Which one is more worth it to you?
Circumstantial with me. In all honesty, I'm going to want to play. I'm in the league, I'm playing to win. I'm just going to be honest. It all depends on my team situation, whether I'm going to go for the money or not. That's just me. And if I'm personally a guy that's gonna stand out and you're gonna pull me in to build a team around me, hey, look, I'm coming to win. I ain't gonna play with y'all. I'm coming to win. But if I'm gonna be some bench riding role player, whatever the case is, I might do it for the money.
I mean,
Okay, me.
I don't knock dudes for sitting out like if Kawhi, when he initially got hurt, when he was on the Spurs and he sat out just to make sure he was good, like, I don't knock you for sitting out to recover the right way. So, like, you know, if the injury, what would you say, what type of injury did you say?
Like something that you can play on, like Isaiah.
I mean, you something you could play on and maybe in the next decade, it's still gonna affect me? Or
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, all right, hey, I play on this for 3 games and now it's a lingering injury that I ain't playing the same for the next
10
3
years.
years or 5 years of my contract. So it's like, hey, yo, I might not even get this chance again. Let me go ahead and go through the pain and maybe try to get this ring, or maybe sit out and then I'm healthy for the next 3 years, but I ain't gonna never get a shot to get a ring.
But see, what I'm doing though, I mean, if you telling me up front I'm never gonna get a chance, then I might go for the ring. But me personally, I'm taking my health because I'm gonna believe that I got another shot. I'm not gonna feel like, oh, if I fix myself, this is my only chance. I'm gonna feel like I got here now, I can get back, especially if I'm healthy, right? Like, certain players value rings like it's the end all be all. Other players, every player want to get a ring, but you know, some players are cool with the bag and the legacy for their family more so than the NBA legacy, right? So, I mean, definitely will want a ring, but I'm not compromising my body for the next 5-6 years for a ring.
You're gonna do that anyway. Once you get an injury like a torn meniscus, ACL injuries and MCLs and things that really affect your joints and you know what I'm saying, that affects you forever, bro.
Yeah, but he said it's something that you could still go out there and play on.
No, you can't play on those.
Right, so folks ain't playing on all them.
Yeah,
so
it's circumstantial. So
Definitely circumstantial.
Kobe, they taking him out. Look, I'm gonna take you out. Torn, what do you have? Torn ACL? I mean, Achilles.
He
Torn Achilles.
play with it if he wanted
Get
to.
out.
You
Yeah,
have to.
immediately. You have to get out.
It wasn't immediately. He shot 2 free throws, nailed them.
Hey, but look, how about this? That's Kobe Bryant. If he want to shoot his free throws, go ahead and shoot your free throws. They allowed him to. They was taking him out. He like, man, I'm shooting these.
He had to. That's a torn Achilles.
He said,
Like, ain't even if he said, "Coach, put me back in and want to play," he'd have tried to go back in, and he'd have not done
What
so.
I'm saying is this, though. Kobe has played with broken fingers. Oh man, broken fingers, toe up ankles and feet and
I
all
saw
that.
an article said he got a finger of an 82-year-old man.
I'm trying to tell you. And with fingers, they don't correct these. They just, man, you know how many times I broke my fingers, man, playing ball? Dude, they don't correct these. If it's out of whack all over here, they put it back on here, get you right back straight, you good, it looks straight enough. You be like, yeah.
It heal itself.
Then it heal itself. They want you to be mobile. They don't even put no splint on it or nothing no more. Ain't no cast for no fingers. So if you can play through that, I mean, once you say, oh, my hand ready. Oh, your bones ain't cracked all up. It's just a little joint you snapped out of place or whatever the case is. That's a break. That's a fracture. He's played through a fracture. All right, cool. Fracture ain't no full break. Fracture not a full break. So he played through that, wrapped it up real good, played through this, whatever, cool. I'll do that. But however, next year, a couple years down the line, I know for a fact I'm going to feel it. Broke my hand, broke my foot, I still feel it. I ain't no professional athlete. I don't play ball every day. I don't run, jump, flip every day. I don't work out every day either. But I stay healthy for sure. I don't do it every day, but I stay healthy. And it kills me, bro. My foot will kill me out the blue for no reason. I was like, Jesus, what did I do that day? So it's going to affect them down the line for sure, for sure. You playing through that, it's going to affect you down the line, bro.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
And even if you don't play through it.
I'm not saying I wouldn't play through some injury. I'm saying if you telling me that the next 4 to 6 years of my career or the rest of my career or the rest of my life, I'm not going to be able to X, Y, Z, it ain't worth it. Even if it's four seasons, it's not worth it for me because I'm him. And if you get me back right, I'm going to get back
gonna be him again.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so, and then we could end this discussion, but I wanted to say this just because I was thinking of a hypothetical. So, say, no, but dig this. Say De'Aaron Fox, right? He had a broken finger or something. Broken finger, right? If he'd have set out, his finger would have healed. He'd be great next season. But he played the series. They lost anyway, and now his shot ain't the same no more. His value goes down. His points goes down. You feel me? Like
He don't get no brownie points or no, hey, you play with a broke hand, so
at all. It's like your value down. You done. And so it's like thinking about it from that perspective as well. It's like, hey, yeah, he played with the injury, and that's commendable, but at the same time, at what cost?
I would have set his ass out.
You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, like you say, a finger, that's something you can play through. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on how bad he felt, if he said, I'm good to go, let's rock. Like, my finger, we was hooping what? This February, my finger, I was just talking about going to the doctor, bro. It's been like 3 months. My finger is still, I'm like, by now, I should be good. You feel me? Like, I don't know what's going on. And like, I got range of motion, but it hurt and it's getting worse and this should be healing. So, I mean, and I jammed it and kept hooping, then went back the next week and hooped.
Yeah.
So it's like, I ain't getting paid nothing. I'm paying $10. So, you know what I mean? Man, if you getting paid millions of dollars, bro, and you could hoop, hoop, bro. That's
Say
all
less.
I'm saying, bro. Man, enough with these injuries, man. We just hope that ain't no more injuries for the rest of the postseason, right? And everybody who injured, who can come back, we hope y'all come back and stay healthy. So, LeBron and Steph haven't met since the play-in bubble where the Lakers beat the Warriors by 3 and went on to advance to be the NBA champions. Mm-hmm. Now, they didn't play a total of like 22 games in the finals. Mm-hmm. This is must-see TV. LeBron, Steph, Bucco, who you got?
I'm going with the underdog. I'm going LeBron. I just expect, yeah.
Do your thing.
I expect a 7-game series, for sure. Yeah, Golden State, I do not feel like you guys are mentally where you need to be right now. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I don't know if it's age. I don't know what it is. Steph Curry, you are him. You've been him. Clay, you him junior. But I don't. This is nice matchups. You know, this nice matchups all around the board, man. You got Loney, who is finna guard AD like he don't care. He a thug. Loney's a thug. He gonna guard AD. However, AD ain't going for none of that. All right, we gonna win. Remember, y'all, I said the Lakers gonna win this. I'm not jumping the bandwagon and going with the Golden State this time. I'm going Lakers. Don't ask me no more. What you think, Will?
For Golden State to be one of this guy's sleeper teams, I don't know. The switch up is immaculate.
Immaculate,
the switch up is
bro.
immaculate. But go ahead.
We
You going with the Lakers?
We talking about the series.
No.
If the Warriors is your sleeper to win if the Warriors is your sleeper to win
this series?
Listen, we could bet. If the Warriors is your sleeper to win the championship, then if they don't get out this series, how they gonna win the championship? What are we talking about?
Bruh.
We talking factuals, we talking opinions, and then we talking
the
my
switch ups. We talking
Ain't no switch ups. I just said
he just said I'm not gonna hop bandwagons and
It's my sleeper team because everybody sleep on them. Everybody been sleep on them.
Go ahead, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all been sleep on them, bro. They ain't on nothing this season.
He say Steph or LeBron. I'm going Stephen Ezekiel Curry. He's coming off a 50-point game 7. I feel like the Warriors are going to come into here, and we got home court. We're going to come in to our home building with momentum. The Lakers, they coming off a 40-point win, but
how many games it take them to win the series?
6.
Okay.
But that don't mean nothing.
Do you think that they would have had a harder time if the roles were switched in? Do you think that Golden State would have beat Memphis?
Yes.
Yes.
And I feel do like you think do you think it would have been? Do you would have won 7 games?
Lakers.
You think it would have won 7 games?
Probably not.
You don't think it would have won 7 games either, do you?
It's possible. It's possible. 6 or 7. Wait. If they would have played Memphis had a better record, so they would have had home court, so it could have won 7.
Possibly.
On the strength of that.
But Steph and Curry.
How many games did
and
Memphis
the Warriors
win? How many games did Memphis win this postseason?
2.
Okay. How many games did Sacramento win this postseason?
3.
Right.
How many series did either one of them win?
Between the Lakers, who beat who you think will win between Memphis and Sacramento, right?
Who do you think will win between
Who
the
do you
Lakers
think will
and
win
the Warriors?
between Memphis
That's
and
the question.
Sacramento? That's where I'm getting my facts from. Since y'all want to, who do you think will win between Memphis and Sacramento?
I feel like if the Lakers play the Warriors,
Memphis or Sacramento? Memphis or Sacramento?
If the Lakers play the
Memphis or
Warriors,
Sacramento?
I think that
7 games.
it's could have. This season it could have went either way. Memphis have injured players. You know, it could have went either way. I probably would have went with the Kings.
You would have won with the Kings
I
over
would have rooted for the Kings.
over Memphis?
Yeah.
You don't like John Morant.
Like John Morant. He the only reason I can rock with Memphis a little bit. I don't like Dylan Brooks.
it's a parade in his city. Yeah.
However, what I'm saying is this, okay? You got Memphis and you got Sacramento, right? Sacramento played harder than Memphis this postseason to me. I'm just gonna say it, just be honest. They star players played way better than Memphis star players this postseason. I feel like John Morant didn't show up this postseason. So look, I say that to say this. The Lakers ain't have a hard time, you know what I'm saying, with those guys, okay? Lakers ain't have a hard time with those guys.
Okay.
I don't feel like the Lakers would have had a harder time with Sacramento than Golden State did. I feel like the Lakers would have beat them in 5 or 6 games. I don't feel like they would have went Game 7
But
if they
you know
would have
that
played
don't
them.
mean that just because you could beat them that they can't beat you, bro. That doesn't
Everybody
mean
plays
anything.
a different style of play.
It does mean that when you get
The
the
eighth
when
seed
we're
just beat
talking
the
about
number 1
playoffs,
seed.
Exactly. So when we're talking about
So what, they gonna win the championship?
That's over East. We not
So they
even
gonna win?
talking
They gonna
about
win the
that.
East then?
We're not talking
So they
about
gonna win the
that.
East?
We're not
That's
talking
what we
about
talking
that.
about.
No,
That's your logic.
No, that's not
That's your
my
logic.
You're giving me my logic right now. You can't give me my logic. You can't give me my own logic, nigga. I'm sitting there explaining to you. Oh my God.
Bro, your logic is just because they beat them, they can beat them. But that's not the case, bro.
I'm saying.
What are you saying?
Let me finish what I'm saying and answer the questions instead of every time
we'll
I ask a
wait.
question.
I've
Every time I ask a question,
I've
you give
answered
an extra
I've
opinion
answered
and try to
every
divert
question.
everywhere
That
else.
was making.
You try to make it everywhere else.
That was him. I've answered every question you
Right,
threw at me.
right, and
Every
then you
single
divert
one.
and try to make me say something else, but I'm not talking about that. We don't bring no examples into this. I'm talking about exactly what I'm talking about, right? Which is Golden State. In the last series they played, they went 7 games, right? They got beat up. They almost didn't make it. Let's be real. If
But
that game
did they
7,
though?
They almost didn't make it. They
Are
blew them
you
niggas out about
crazy?
20 points in Game 7.
that's game 7.
He's got to be high.
Almost didn't make it mean Game 7 they lost, they won, barely won. That's almost didn't make it. Almost didn't make it is, no,
Why
they
y'all
blew
even
them
go
niggas
game
out.
7? Why y'all even go game 7? And y'all playing the injured De'Aaron Fox. So explain to me why y'all go game 7.
They got the number 1 offense. They the number 3 seed. We win 7 games. They had no home court advantage. We played bad on the road, but won 2 on the road.
You
What
got to
mean?
outscore
It don't matter.
the
Who won
top
the series?
offense in the league.
Who won the series?
Who won the series with the Lakers? How many games?
Who's gonna win the series?
How many
against the
games?
Lakers
Bro,
and
And
the
I
Warriors?
bet you the Lakers win. And when the Lakers, what y'all want to bet? Let's put
6
this on
games
camera.
or 7
What's
games,
the-
that
what-
don't
we gonna-
mean
we gonna put a new segment
nothing.
on here called What You Want to Bet. And this is my bet right now. I bet $50. We're going to go low. Well, $50 that the Lakers win this series.
He only get loud when he reach, y'all. He be cool, smooth.
Bro, I swear.
But when he want to reach, that's when he get to be elevated, getting loud, y'all. Oh.
Boy, you funny.
We're going to see, y'all.
Like we
Nobody
said,
want to take that bet, though.
the Lakers, you never know what you're going to get with AD. If we're talking off the playoffs alone, he's been showing up every other game. And I got the stats to prove it.
Pull him up.
Bro, he shows up. He scored 30 points in one game. The next game he had 12. The next game he had 28. The next game he had 10. What we talking about?
What LeBron do? What did LeBron do?
But it takes a team to win.
Exactly.
So the Lakers versus the Warriors, if AD don't show up, who else is going to provide them with that 30 points? Because the Warriors are going to score. But you think that they're going to beat them in how many games? You sound like you're on crack or something.
7
bro. Like, what
games.
we talking about?
Lakers in 7. Like
All
I
right.
said.
If you say so.
Lakers
We'll see.
in 7.
I'll take your $50 bet.
Lakers in 7.
Bro, I'll take your $50 bet.
Reach for it.
Lakers in 7.
I'll take the $50 bet,
Y'all
bro.
saw
Lakers
it
in
here.
7.
Warriors.
And the loser.
In how many?
And the loser go come with that 50 piece
That
and
50
exchange it
piece.
on the show.
You hear me?
On the show.
Warriors in how many?
It might go 7.
Oh, okay, Mike.
It might go 7.
Hey, it'll
Lakers
be
in
great
7.
basketball if it do, man. I want to see a 7-game series between them guys for
Right.
sure.
What was your logic on why the Warriors gonna beat the Lakers? You tell me, because I don't want to hear what he said. I want to hear what you got to say too.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What was say it again? was the question?
Why do you believe that the Warriors are just gonna beat the Lakers? Why do you think that? Why do you think that they're gonna
I
beat the
just
best
said-
player on in the league right now? Why do you think that?
Who's the best player in the league?
LeBron James.
Bro, this guy's high. He's got it.
Huh?
What are you talking
Who gonna be
about?
Mr. the new GOAT? Who gonna beat the new GOAT? Bro?
He is.
Who's gonna beat him?
He
bro?
is like overall probably the best player in the league. Like if you looking at the overall, but like currently, you said he's the best player in the league right now. That was your
Currently?
words. Come on, bro, stop it. So didn't you just say Giannis was one of didn't you just say Giannis earlier in this
He's
episode?
the overall best player.
All right, man. I just think that the Warriors, the Warriors team has been locked in longer than this new Lakers team. New Lakers team looking good. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Then the Lakers, and I don't dislike Austin Reeves. I kind of like Austin Reeves, but I just don't see like the Lakers having to lean on Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell to facilitate, to really give it to the Warriors. Now, like he said, if AD play phenomenal all series, which we can't rely on that, then I definitely feel like the Lakers got a chance. I still feel like he said, like you said, Looney gonna be a problem. Kayvon Looney gonna be a problem. Don't sleep on Draymond Green.
Defensive.
I think especially if the others come for Golden State, it's ugly. Let Kuminga have a 15-point game. Let Moody have a 15, 12, 15
Wiggins
point
is
game.
guaranteed to have a
it's
breakout
up,
game
bro.
every series.
It's right. Not to mention the defense you're gonna get from GP2 and Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? Like not to say that they really could handle Bron, but I mean throw Wiggins on Bron, make him sweat. You know what I mean? Bron will have to beat us, and he's not gonna beat us. He's gonna need
And
help.
he's definitely not going to do
This
it
the
without
same meat
without
they was
AD.
holding with the Sacramento series. I wish we would have had episodes of this Sacramento series. This the same meat they was holding. And if they would have watched the Sacramento series game, if we'd have had an episode in the middle of that Sacramento
you
game,
talking about?
they would not be saying the same thing that they saying about the Golden State Warriors. Because they had a good game
said-
7
you
and
said
a restart,
LeBron-
now we get a new series, I promise you.
Bro,
When
they
were just
won
playing
twice
Sacramento-
on the road.
When they were just playing Sacramento, they was getting worked. Okay, I watched young guys who brand new team. I watched young guys.
What is your
pick
definition?
them apart, bro?
What is your
Memphis
definition
didn't
of
have
getting
They
work?
won.
Memphis didn't have.
They won.
Memphis
However,
didn't have.
They won the
series.
first game by a missed 3. They won their second game by a missed 3.
L. Did you win or did you lose? It don't matter.
You talking all that, but the Lakers didn't have a go against a full Memphis roster. Brandon Clark and Steven Jackson
Is out.
Play if you want to. All right, you talking about some who? Okay.
Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, Ja Sack.
Josh had a game, right?
It's like, come
what are
on,
we
yo.
talking about?
They
And you
had
over
the
here
e- they had
braggadocious
the
because they
easier
took care of
road.
them. Like, what are you
And
talking about?
not to mention,
guys.
in the last round,
They don't make a break
Who are
Memphis. The guys y'all talking about
Steven
don't make a
Adams
break
does.
Memphis.
Even Josh said it. Steven Adams, he was leading the league in
I'll take
rebounds
Steven
down
Adams, but
there.
Steven Adams been out so long
But
that
it's
these
still a
guys had to
factor.
come. You guys got to come up with a game.
AD don't eat like that if Steven Adams is down there.
Come on now.
What?
He
Are you
don't.
crazy?
Come on now.
And he
Oh,
was
Brandon
still-
Clark.
and he was still
You
inconsistent.
better do your research. If you don't know who Brandon Clark is.
AD don't get down when Steven Adams down there. Okay, I hear y'all.
Bro,
If
say we wouldn't
Steven
have got
Adams
down like
averaged
that.
14
Y'all are
rebounds,
reaching.
if Steven Adams averaged 14 rebounds, then
Reach.
obviously it's going to be less room for others to get rebounds. That's just logic.
Okay, so
The man averaged 13, 14 rebounds,
at
bro.
this point, the Lakers ain't. They gonna lose by what you say? Warriors and how many? Warriors and how many for you? Because he said 7. How many?
I can see it go 7. I would like to see it go 7.
Lakers are 7.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to see it go 7. You know.
In the last round, LeBron averaged 22 and 11. AD averaged 21 and like 13.
Double doubles.
You need AD.
But that's when it thins out. They only got maybe one other player that was even averaging double
They
figures.
still working. They
If
still
you look
working.
at the
They still gonna
Warriors,
win.
Curry was averaging 34, 5, and 5.
Curry had to
Andrew
score.
Wiggins was averaging
Curry
18,
had to
7, and
score
7.
30 points every game.
Thompson was averaging
and they won
18,
7
and
games.
7.
They played 7
Wiggins-
games. Curry had to score 30 points every game. He only didn't score 32
And what you
games,
think
and he had 28 games.
But what you think he's gonna do
And he
against
can
LeBron?
keep doing that.
What?
And
That's no problem.
And you still
He
take
still-
Can we
Steph
count on
Curry?
Anthony Davis
Boy,
to
are
do
you
that?
crazy?
Can we
We're
count on
talking about
Anthony
one player.
Davis to do that?
We're talking about Anthony Davis, who might miss this shot.
You talk about one player.
And now what?
He the
Looney
difference
goes out on
maker.
him, and he get a pass off. Now somebody going up. It don't matter who scored. We talking about the team. We talking about team basketball. We're not talking about one player. One player ain't gonna
have
make
to-
a break right now.
Okay,
bro.
okay.
Because of the game, because
Okay.
it hasn't started yet.
Okay.
But you gotta outscore
after
teams to
game
win.
1. Tell me about who outscored who. I don't want to hear that until after game 1.
They gonna lose.
Then talk to me.
The Lakers gonna lose.
Okay.
Period.
I don't care who win game 1. Who gonna win the series?
Who gonna win this series?
He talking about after game 1,
Because y'all
like
keep
they
on
gonna
talking
show
about-
us something.
Yeah, y'all keep on talking about who gonna score a point and score points and score points. You talking about a team full of professionals. These
Bro, but
boys
we-
gonna score, boy.
We're talking about being logical though.
We being logical.
You the one
The
with you talk
Warriors-
about
the
how
Warriors
Steph had to
average
score 30
being
points.
logical.
You the
He
one
had
talking about
to.
right. So don't say y'all over here
He
talking
had
about
to.
scoring points.
He had to.
You
And he
talk
had
about
to
scoring
score.
points.
He had to score.
But
that
we're
shit.
talking about being logical.
He had
The
to score.
Warriors average more
Long as
points
we don't
as an
get injured,
offense
we banging
than the
them
Lakers.
boys.
They didn't.
So they're gonna have to make
the
up that
Lakers,
point deficit.
This season,
We
I
banging
mean,
them
this
boys.
last series, the Lakers didn't have to score. LeBron didn't have to score 30 points. You know what I'm saying? The only time he
Because
scored
AD
over,
was
the only
also
time he scored over 30 points, only time he scored over that was when Miles was talking crazy. He like, you know what?
Because Memphis
If they don't
wasn't
give me
healthy.
Hey man, whatever. Man. He ain't have to.
If
didn't
Memphis
have
would have
to.
played Golden State
He didn't
unhealthy,
have
it
to.
wasn't going 7.
He didn't have to. If the Lakers would have played Sacramento, it still wouldn't have went 7.
I'll give you that. It might not have went 7.
It'd went,
But it might have because Sacramento been surprising the whole league all the way up to their final game. So I can't say that. But I mean, if anything, I can see the Lakers maybe getting them out of hand 6.
Logically,
maybe.
did you believe that the Sacramento Kings were going to take them 7 games? Let's think logically, since y'all logically thinking over here. Did y'all think that the Sacramento Kings was going to go 7 games with the Warriors?
What I said was
Logically, yes or
What I said
no?
was I don't think that it's gonna go 7, but Sacramento been surprising you all year.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
You said gentleman sweep is what I heard. I remember that.
Right. You only remember
Gentleman
a part of what I said.
4-1. That's what you
These
said,
these
boy.
takes don't
He
be
ain't gonna sweep them.
These takes
They gonna
be
give him a gentleman sweep.
these
They gonna
takes
give
be
him one.
minutes long. They don't be one sentence long. So you just only remember a sentence. These
Exactly.
takes be
And
you
just
gotta
one
remember
little
it all.
itty-bitty and you take
You know
that
what
and
I'm
run
saying?
with it. That's exactly what I'm
You-
doing with your shit.
you-
You gotta pick.
you just
picking
said
everything-
Golden State
you
was
picking
your
everything I'm
sleeper
telling you
team,
about. I don't matter.
But they not gonna get past the Lakers.
They was my sleeper
How,
team.
Sway?
They was my
How?
Or the Lake Show. What is you saying?
How?
You talking about a sleeper team versus a team that I know
A sleeper team
that
mean
I
that's
know
the
for
team
a fact could win
you
this.
think gonna win the championship. That's your sleeper
That's
team.
my sleeper team.
So how are they?
But what did I say who was gonna win it all though?
The Bucks or
The Lake Show.
never. I got
Come
the
on, boy.
footage.
In the West.
No, put
In
the
the
footage.
West.
No,
In
put
the
the
West.
footage right
Okay,
here.
In the West.
In the West?
I don't even- Okay.
In the West,
Okay.
I said my two sleeper teams was who? The Clippers and the motherfucking and the Golden State, right? But who's gonna win that bitch, bro? I want Bron to win because if he wasn't gonna win after him having a season of beating a record of the record,
they just in the
then it didn't
play-in?
mean shit. That's what I said.
They was
So
just in
you
the
gonna take
play-in,
one
bro.
sentence I said, but you ain't gonna listen
You
to
was
the whole
talking
tape.
a whole different tune where we didn't know if the Lakers was gonna be in the playoffs. Because when they was in the play, when they was in the play-in, you was talking about
once they got
everybody
in the
but
playoffs
them.
and we seen who they was playing when we had that
Cut it
playoff
out.
episode.
Cut
I
it
said
out,
what I needed
man.
to say, right?
Hey, I'm gonna put
Rewind.
I'm gonna
Hey,
put the
bro.
link. I'm gonna put the link to episode 1 in the
Rewind.
description. Check that thing
Episode
out.
2 as well.
Check
Right.
that thing out,
Episode
and
one,
so y'all
episode
can
two.
see
Check
y'all
both
can
out.
see the man flip flopping.
Yeah,
Y'all can
it's
see
gonna
the
be the
man
same
flip
thing.
flopping.
Y'all gonna hear me say the same thing I'm saying right now.
I
Solid.
don't know.
Lakers stayed solid. D'Angelo
don't
Russell.
know.
I remember my conversations, man. I wasn't holding a penis like the next nigga boy. You know what I'm saying? But
Like you are now.
Hey,
I
check.
wasn't holding pain like the last one
Hey,
was.
check. Before we get up out of here, let's go ahead and just. I don't know. Matter of fact, no, I was gonna say let's make some predictions, but we got time on that. You know what I'm saying? It's only game 1, game 2 of the second round. We'll be back to make the predictions on who we think gonna come up out of the second round. But man, this has been a solid episode. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Want to give a special shout out to Royalty Productions, Covers Network. Chep. Yo, like the thing with the string. Thanks for watching Triple Threat. I'm Chep Woods. Subscribe and tune in every Wednesday. Chep.
Triple threat, shoot, dribble, pass, man, we cover ball like we in the net. Triple threat, Trey, Art, and Chep, you can catch us all on the internet. Triple threat.